We just got these Voss and HF5s mounted up, balanced, ready to go, and we're about to prep these for ceramic coating. What do we got to do to these, Zach, to get them ready?
Well, since these are brand new wheels, all we need to do is do a really thorough prep wipe. With our ESOTERIC panel wipe, we're going to spray them down. That panel wipe is going to break down any other oils or residues that are on the surface of the wheel, because we want a perfect bonding surface with the ceramic coating so that it bonds with the powder coat of these Vosses. So we're just going to spray it down.
And you said this is ESOTERIC panel wipe?
Yep. This is a lot of prep work, it seems like, but with these wheels being brand new, this is the perfect time to do it because they're not dirty. And this work that you do now is going to pay dividends down the road because it's going to save you so much time when it comes to actually cleaning these wheels down the road. This is going on a Mercedes C43 that's going to dump a bunch of brake dust. This coating is going to significantly cut down how much brake dust accumulates in the first place, and then it's going to make it super easy to clean up down the road. And one of the questions that we often get is, do I need to use wheel cleaners on ceramic coatings? If you've got something that's being washed on a regular basis, you really don't need wheel cleaners once the wheels are coated. This is something that you're washing, like a lot of us diehards, we wash our cars maybe once a week or every other week. You really don't need wheel cleaners because the ceramic coating does such a great job, cut down on how much accumulates. If you got something German, you don't wash it maybe once a quarter or something, you're coming out of winter, you might have a bunch of accumulation. In that situation, I'd probably use wheel cleaners.
So you put a bunch of work in this time, and then subsequent wheel cleanings are way faster.
And even a bunch of work. I bet all of these, you know, it's probably going to take us, if you're a one-man show, maybe an hour to do from start to finish.
For all four?
For all four.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, we're all finished prepping. Now what?
All finished. Now we're going to go into actually coating. And prepping for this, you're going to have your coating ready. You got your wipe-off towels. We have 2 towels. Again, our Edgeless 300 towels. And then depending on what you like, you have your applicators. This is what we're going to apply the actual coating with. For big barrels, I like to use this Autofiber Saver Mini applicator. Really great for just coating this big flat area. For tight areas, for years, we've been taking these, our red foam applicators, using a knife, a set of scissors or whatever. I actually like scissors, just don't have them handy. Just cut this into quarters. If you want to, you can just leave it in halves. I like to cut it into quarters because it gives me a nice corner. And then we can just drip the coating on, and with one of these corners, you can get into tight areas, things like that, detailed areas. We're gonna take our wheel coating. This is a wheel coating we're testing, and we're gonna drip it on. The first time you drip on coating, you're gonna be a little heavier. As you add more coating as we're going on in different sections, you don't have to add as much. You're just gonna kind of top it up. So I'm just gonna add this in here. One thing I see a lot in videos is people touching this. This is a brand new bottle, so I'm not concerned. But if this was a bottle that maybe we used on a set of wheels and then we had some left for coming back, there could be crystals on the top of this from when we put the cap on and the coating crystallized. If we're touching this back on the applicator, you have the chance to put shards of cured coating back on the applicator. That's not what we want. So drip it from a distance and keep those shards away from your applicator. That's really particular.
What could happen if you did
Well,
that?
you'd scratch up, in this case, your wheels, but if you're on paint, you'd scratch up your paint. Wheels are harder to see scratches on, but you'd still scratch them. If you're doing this on a big flat hood, you'd see it immediately. You'd see tiny little hairline scratches.
Good principle, no matter the surface.
Correct, exactly. These Saver applicators are cool. They're called Saver applicators because inside is a plastic liner, and it prevents the coating from just soaking into the foam material.
So you're not wasting material.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
Keeps it into the microfiber on the outside surface. So here I'm just going to apply it. You can apply this a little heavy, and you don't need to speed. This particular coating that we're using is super easy to use. I absolutely love it in what I've tried so far.
And for newbies like me, I just thought of something.
Yes.
You want these balanced first.
That's exactly it. We get this question all the time. I'm glad you brought it up. Can I apply the coating first before I take them to the tire shop to get the tires mounted and balanced? Let them mount the tires first and balance them, because these coatings will prevent the wheel weights in some cases from sticking.
And that's why that brake dust isn't sticking as well.
Exactly.
Your wheel weights won't stick either. All right, so you haven't added any more. You're just still kind of cruising around.
Yep, and I'm going to add just a little bit more.
How do you know when to add some? You're going to start seeing less go to the wheel, or just kind of learn the feel?
I think the feel more than anything. You'll feel it glide when it's got a lot of liquid on it, on the surface of the applicator.
Okay, so you just do like a back forth there, basically?
Yeah, and I just have a little bit left. I put more on because I'm going to go back to the spokes now. I'm going to go here in the back of the spokes.
And we're covering every surface.
Yeah, because a lot of people want to just coat the faces and they want to do it with the wheels on the car. I want to coat them, especially on this backside of this barrel. This is where the most brake dust is going to accumulate. The face of the wheel is what we see most, but the majority of dust, your calipers, like right here, it's going to just completely, coat these. with brake dust. And so I want to get the backs of these. That's really going to make where you're going to make life easy. Now I'm going to switch to my corner applicator. Here at ESOTERIC, we've always liked easy to use coatings. What I would consider bad coatings and what we've seen over the years is coatings that are like molasses trying to get off. Those are not easy to use coatings. We don't want to associate ourselves with those because we want stuff that's easy to use with high quality solvents, which is the liquid portion of this coating.
Quick question about the back. Do you want to coat the hub mating surface?
You can, it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Not going to make any difference. The measurable layer that this coating is going to put on is not enough where it's going to cause any type of mechanical interference with that wheel. No concerns there.
And then does it matter if you have the center cap in or out when you do this?
I would coat the center cap. It's going to keep that clean too. Coat this valve stem.
And these are all questions I have because I don't know how to do any of this stuff. I'm learning along with you guys, so that's why I'm asking these questions.
Jake's still taking his car to a drive-through car wash, and I'm surprised we even hired him in the first place because of it. But we thought maybe this was a good experience for us to get the word out to people who are just like him, who maybe just don't know any better. Jake does know better now. So we're looking forward to the video where he cancels his membership. We're not going to force him to do it. We just expect him to do it.
They're not going to force me to do it. They're just not going to pay me unless
That's
I do.
true.
Probably.
That's true.
Something like
We're
that.
giving him free access to free car washing with great supplies from ESOTERIC Car Care, and there's really no reason why he needs to be going to that drive-thru anymore.
You mean the automated car wash doesn't ceramic coat my wheels?
No, they just scratch your paint, and they use harsh chemicals that stain your plastics and your rubber trim. One of the things that I like to do is work from the valve stem or 12 o'clock position and then work my way around. That's where I know where I've been. In this case, I can see the liquid on the surface, but in some cases it might be hard. Black wheels or really bright silver wheels, it's hard to kind of see the liquid. If you start at the valve stem every time, if you start at 12 o'clock, I'm 12 o'clock referencing from the valve stem. Then I know I started here and I work my way around and then I stop here. At this point, I'm going to go back to where I started coating and I'm going to start wiping off. I have 2 wipe off towels. This particular coating is super easy to use. I actually really enjoy wiping it off. I don't need to go back and wipe that right now. That is like completely dry and clean.
Somewhere in here is your line?
I wiped here and I haven't wiped this yet.
Yeah, you can see it.
I'll start a new line there for you. This stuff is just so nice. It flashes so nicely. It's coming off like a breeze. There's a lot of coatings out there that then again come off like molasses where I'm like pushing really hard to try and chase it off.
And so that was what, 2 or 3 minutes probably between application and wiping it off?
Yeah.
So basically you apply on the rear, go apply to the front, and by the time you're done on the front, it's time to wipe the back.
Correct. In that time, that coating has molecularly bonded on the surface of this powder coat. Whether you have powder coat, painted, whatever the case may be, it's going to bond with that surface. This excess is just the excess liquid solvent that I'm wiping off.
And then how long do we expect something like this to last?
This one layer of this particular coating, I would say is probably going to last around a year, probably 1.5 to 2 years with 2 layers, which is what I like to do. If I'm here already, I'd rather do another layer. And we get this question all the time. How soon can I layer? What's the layering process? So on and so forth. I would do all 4 wheels, let them sit for maybe 2 to 3 hours, then come back and apply my second layer. You don't need to do another prep wipe. No more panel wipe. It's already ready to go. Just coat right on top of that existing layer, and then let it dry for at least 24 hours. So if it's gonna be dry, throw them on your car and go drive, no problem at all. If it's gonna rain or whatever, let them sit in the garage or in your house or wherever before you go out in the wet. That wetness, that moisture could impede and change how that coating is curing. We want the coating to off-gas in that 24 hours, staying dry. If we introduce moisture, it could change how that coating off-gases and it just won't last as long. I don't think you're gonna see anything unsightly by any means, but you could see a drop off in longevity long term. Another thing, I'm starting at 12 o'clock again, referencing my valve stem. I'm not even touching my second towel, which has typically been our MO. We always have second towels. We kind of get 70–80% with the first towel, and it almost always leaves some behind. The second towel gets the rest. This coating's so easy to use that I'm just using my first towel. I've just worked and tested a lot of coatings over the years where they're just a pain to use, and this one's just so nice to use.
You keep referencing it, pain to remove or molasses. What's happening with that?
Lower quality solvents, that liquid carrier. The liquid is just the vehicle, I'll say, to get the ceramic coating, the actual SiO2 quartz onto the surface of the panel, in this case the wheel. This also works on brake calipers, which is an awesome application. If you've got lower quality solvents, typically what we see is they're really, really strong in smell. And in a space this small, it would be, I'm not gonna say dangerous, I wouldn't wanna do it a lot, you get a headache when you're using it. It'd be like using paint thinner in a small area. They're just more difficult to work with and they flash too quickly. Let's say it was flashing really quickly and we let this go for a minute too long, it starts to get tacky. The absorption of your towel doesn't really work and you're kind of fighting it to get off. In this case, I'm really just holding the towel on enough to get it on the surface and it's absorbing and wiping off really cleanly.
And so you probably won't really see anything on your towel as you're wiping it off?
Nope. It'll get saturated and you'll notice that it'll stop absorbing the coating. Then I just switch to a new towel. All you see here is it's very...
just very minimal dirt from us mounting it.
Yeah, this is just from the tire edge. That's all it is. And then I just want to do one last visual inspection. I started on the back purposely and ended on the front because this is what we see most. If I've left some coating, I want it to be on the back side. I don't want it to be on the front side. So I want to end here on the front and just look for some high spots. This is actually a pretty easy set to look for because it's a satin finish. And if there was some leftover coating, you'd notice that it would be kind of a glossy wet finish. And in this case, I think we're good to go.
Man, those look really good from this angle.
Yeah, we got the upgraded carbon fiber center caps, which is a cool option that Vossen offers on their hybrid forged wheels. Pretty cool set. We're looking forward to this going on the C43. So we'll just move from this wheel to the next one and coat all four, and then they're good to start curing.
Okay, so these are brand new wheels. What would you do if you're trying to ceramic coat like wheels that have been on your car that you're going to take off? They're dirty, brake dust, dirt, all that stuff.
I'm going to start with just doing a deep wheel clean with wheel cleaner. You might need to use an iron remover depending on how embedded some of the brake dust is. After that, if you've got tar, after you've washed and cleaned them, if you've got some tar, take some of our tar remover, remove any tar that's in there. And then I'm going to come back and do the same prep wipe that I'm doing on these brand new wheels. Kind of the same process, except you're just going to clean them really well first. Then you go into the panel wipe and then you go right into coating.
What if you have damage, like you had a big scratch, maybe a little gouge? What about that?
I'd probably get them refinished, get them fixed first, have them repaired, then come back. They should be in near new condition at that point if they got refinished. I'd do a panel wipe down, and then you can coat them right away.
If you have like a minor scratch or something, maybe you don't want to refinish the wheel, can you just buzz over that? Will it stick? Or maybe...
You can just go right over it, act like it's not there. It's not going to cause any issues whatsoever.
All right, we just finished up. What is a good procedure on how to store that and deal with everything?
Once we're done, we're going to take one of these wipe-off towels. We're going to throw away these wipe-off towels because this is full of coating. It's liquid now, but it's going to cure. It's going to have shards. You don't want to reuse this for anything. We've had so many people ask, well, can I soak it in water? Can I wash it? Yeah, you can, but it's just not worth it. This is a $2.50 towel. It's not worth the risk of scratching something later. We're going to use it to clean the neck of this bottle. Any excess coating that we had on there, we want to wipe off because this would cure and have shards, and then the next time we go to use this, it would scratch the wheels or paint or what have you. One other note, a lot of people question, like, how much coating am I going to use? We just did one layer coating on a set of wheels. This is a 50 ml bottle, so we probably used maybe 25 to 30%.
And I wasted some getting extra shots.
Yeah, Jake wasted a lot. That's how little we had to use to coat this whole set of wheels. Yeah. You literally could probably do one layer on 4 different sets or 2 layers on 2 sets. You can apply this on brake calipers too. It's going to be high temperature rated and be able to withstand that heat. So that's how little that you have to use when you're coating a set of wheels.
Last thing, I did this several times. What happens if you drop an applicator on the ground?
So if you're clumsy like Jake and you knock your applicator off, I would just make sure you don't need to throw it away, but let's say I got some dirt, just brush it off. Look for any dirt or anything that could cause any scratching. But really, that's all you need to do.
And that gets thrown away as well because it obviously has
We're throwing all of our applicators and anything that we use to apply or remove the coating, we're throwing them away.
And since you cut that in quarters, you still might have 3/4 left.
We got 3/4 left right there. So we're in good shape.
Good use. That should be everything you need to know on how to ceramic coat your wheels. Hopefully you learned along with me because before this video, I had no idea how to do this. And now I feel like I could probably do a set by myself. We've got many options on ceramic coating along with all the other products you saw in this video at esotericcarcare.com. Leave a comment below if you have any questions on anything we didn't cover. And thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.